Welcome back to the Gen Z Speaks podcast. With us today, a special guest as always, Adam Paul Fynke.
Oh, nice.
Full legal name.
Not your real middle name.
Yeah, not my real middle name. I told you guys what my real middle name was.
Tell the audience, they want to know.
I don't know if they want to know, bro. They might be a little afraid.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll hold it in.
Adam, tell them, what do you do?
I do comedy, stand-up comedy, and I love it. And I just make women orgasm all the time too. Like those are the two things I love doing: is comedy and making women orgasm. So,
what did the second part start? When did you come to terms with that's
not
what
until
you do?
I was like 30. It takes time because you guys are Gen Z speaking. Yeah, you guys all right. You're in your how old are you?
24.
24. Yeah, so you're not gonna make women come yet. It's just
What have I been doing then, bro?
6
they've
more
been
years.
lying to you.
Lying?
Yeah, and it's okay,
I
but
don't know, bro. They keep coming back. It's all good.
And Matt Wright sitting next to me.
How much are they charging?
By the
just kidding.
talent.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Older a G, but
No, I'm kidding. Oh, good. Yeah, that's like
it's a great rate, right?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, well, good. You're making money. You're liquidating. Yeah, so we're in a
Liquidating
fucking,
other things,
We're in a You're liquidating. We're doing a podcast in a fucking liquidation building. All this furniture's been liquidated.
Yeah.
Like this is like
We're sitting on liquidation.
This is how good it gets, bro.
This is
liquidated furniture.
the best
The
price.
warehouse, yeah.
Yeah, because you know what I was thinking? I was like working on this joke where it's like the difference between Jewish people and black people, and I'm Jewish, so it's like I can talk about it.
Well, yeah.
Not black, so maybe I can't talk about all that. But
everybody.
the
It's
difference like between I think like with the Jewish minority like and black is like so it's like when it comes to money, like a lot of black people like to flex on what they spend, but Jewish people like to flex on what they save.
You're right.
So like liquidating is like our fucking shit.
Yeah,
dude.
there's a lot of Jews in liquidation.
Really?
I bet.
Yeah, it's not even.
That was
not even a joke.
Armenians, mostly.
No, I know one Armenian. There's a lot of Chinese and Jews in this.
Makes sense. It fits all the categories.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you guys are a minority in the thing, huh?
Yeah, dude, 100%. But there's a huge issue with it. They've not elevated the liquidation game at all.
How could they? What are they doing wrong? How can they?
Just exactly what you're saying. All they do is focus on their savings.
their savings.
Yeah, and so then all they are is just one warehouse that just saves, and so they're just focusing on their bank account rather than like the growth. And with growth, you need to spend money. That's part of it. And so, and there are a lot of old heads doing this liquidation. Obviously, it's not like a kid's thing to do, you know? So I think there's a lot of opportunity in this just because everybody doing it is like 50s, 60s, and they're just stuck to one way of, you know, wholesaling inventory out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're the young gun. You're the Gen Z liquidator.
The youngest liquidator in America.
Maybe.
Probably.
You probably
bro.
are.
I started when I was 21, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's honestly, that's very
youngest liquidator.
The youngest liquidator. You should put that.
Okay.
Young
MLA.
liquid.
Yeah, look. I'll take that.
Young liquid.
That's dope. And you can
When
be
it-
gender fluid too.
Yeah, it
I
fits
already
both.
am, brother.
When did you start comedy?
Like 2.5 years ago. So it was March of 2022.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it was I just like did one open mic in LA, didn't know anybody, and just went from there. Yeah.
And it just stuck?
Yeah, it's stuck.
Okay.
What
got you to like do stand up though? Like to go up on stage and
Well,
something
dude,
you've always wanted to do?
when I was in college, I always wanted to do it. I always felt compelled to do it.
Yeah.
But I would go to this like little dingy club in East Lansing, Michigan, and I would go watch the open mics. I would just watch because I was too scared to actually do it.
Yeah.
Until one dude just signed me up. He said, "Hey, dude, you're going up today." And I'm like, "Oh no, this is the scariest thing on the planet." And I
Right.
had like 3 hours to write 5 minutes of material. And so what happened was that 5 minutes of material went away in like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
And I went up there, and for whatever reason, that mic, old folks home in the area took a day trip
No chance.
to the mic, and so it was all like Betty White's in the front row.
Senior
and
residents.
Senior residents.
Wow.
And I'm up there bombing in front of these old ladies.
Are you busting geriatric jokes?
No, I didn't have the wherewithal because I'm just like sticking to whatever
Well, you wrote, yeah.
stupid thing I was writing, and then when that stopped, I'm like, I just started riffing, but like just saying stupid shit about my dick, and I haven't stopped since. But just dick jokes, sexed up, and I'm like, talking to these old women, like sexualizing them, and they're clutching their pearls, and like they're like, oh my god, and the comics in the back were laughing, but like, man, it just felt awful. Like that bomb
That's hilarious.
was so bad, and so I didn't. After that, I'm like, all right, it's not for me. Like,
after that first one, you're like, that's not for me.
yeah.
When was that? Was that before LA?
Yeah,
that was before.
That was
Okay.
like 10 years ago.
Oh,
So
wow.
I did that open mic, and you know what the problem was too? Girls came to see me from Michigan State. They came out and surprised me. They're like, "We're here
at your first
At
open
my
mic.
first open mic." I'm like, "No,
That's a nightmare.
No.
Oh
And
my god.
So they watched me bomb, and so I'm like that. It was so humiliating that I'm like, I'm not doing that again. And
Wow.
yeah, so I didn't for 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah, but I would always go and watch stand up to like make myself feel better, like live
Okay,
stand up.
yeah.
You know, like any chance I would get, I would go to a show. That's why I loved living in LA. I love living in it because it's like you can see the best comedians, like
What brought you to LA?
film production.
Oh, film production.
Yeah. So what I was really doing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, I'm not good at stand up. Like, I'll just be a bitch on set and just like work on set, like
Do crowd work.
yeah, do crowd work all day.
On set, yeah.
on set and work for other people's dreams. And
Interesting.
Yeah.
and so I did. I slaved away at that for 8 years of like PA to producer to director, like the whole ladder. I went from being, like an assistant, being
Right.
Mexican, all the way to being a director to being Jewish. Like
Interesting.
up the ladder.
So you make films. You made films.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I made films. I worked on Netflix,
Yeah.
movies, TV shows, the whole thing, commercials, music videos. I directed a lot of music videos, like hip hop videos. But I was really running away from what I really wanted to do, which was like be the comedian.
Be a comedian.
Yeah, and then my dad died, and
Okay.
that was a wake up call.
Right.
And then the eulogy was like my second open mic. My dad's eulogy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
so, but it was like one of the funniest things ever. Like it was like,
You made it funny?
yeah,
Okay.
a 10-minute speech.
Yeah.
And like me and my mom, my sister went up and did it.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. It was so funny. 'Cause,
Mhm.
like there's
That's
actually, it's an amazing crowd, funeral crowd.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to laugh,
Right.
but you have everybody's attention.
Because they're
You have like hundreds of people.
they're all
there because
I think that's good, actually, huh?
yeah.
If you don't make people laugh, like, why would you want it to be like the last moment they're gonna feel that presence of that person?
Yeah.
Don't feel sad about it. Feel happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Celebrate
fair,
it.
yeah.
Enjoy it. Like, because, like, my dad was complicated. Like, he had a huge heart. He was super loving, but he wasn't, like, the nicest to everybody. So it's like, I don't like how funerals pretend that everyone was an absolute angel all the time.
Okay.
But, like, everyone loved my dad. So it's like us razzing him and roasting him and talking about it. It was like it brought everyone together. Be like, you know what? This is a healthy way to
Okay.
send him out.
That's
But
cool.
after that, I was just like, oh yeah, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
Like this is really
It's
what
time.
it's time. It's what I was like for sure meant to do. Like, and I always knew it, but I was just too scared. And I was in my 20s, like when I was Gen Z in my 20s, I was so busy trying to please what other people I thought wanted of me, what
Okay.
society wanted. Like, I didn't want to be an artist because back home in Michigan,
Yeah.
if you're, I'm gonna be an actor or I'm gonna be a
Right.
comedian,
You
they're
shit
like,
on?
yeah,
Yeah.
because they're like, oh yeah, you're really gonna make it there, son.
Yeah.
Like they treat you like you're a little kid that's saying like, I'm gonna go to the moon, and they're like, yeah, you are,
Yeah.
buddy. And then they turn around and they're like,
The Santa Claus is real.
yeah, Santa Claus,
yeah.
right? Santa Claus is real.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it took me that long to like really just shake it off and be like,
Wait,
fuck.
Santa Claus isn't real?
No, it's real actually.
Yeah, and you really make girls orgasm too.
Fuck, bro, you're
Santa-
saving me,
Rocking your
bro.
world. Yeah.
Shit, okay.
No, dude, you liquidate that pussy, dude.
Sometimes on Wednesdays.
Yeah, nice.
when the pallets aren't full.
Yeah, when the horse isn't full.
Oh yeah,
We have the
So-
pinky ring on, and
nice.
You moved. Was that in Michigan? The funeral, and then you moved to LA.
No,
You
I
moved
lived. I moved to LA right after college, so I've lived here for 10 years.
oh,
Gotcha.
But I didn't do stand up
yeah,
Right.
until
You're doing
that
production
happened.
and-
Yeah,
yeah.
production.
Got it.
And so started stand up. I was really hard on myself because I'm like, I don't want to. If I'm gonna do it, I want it to be a natural fit.
Mm.
And if it is a natural fit, I'm gonna put everything on the
Yeah.
line. Like it's because I've watched people in my life, like that's living here in LA, like you watch people blow up. Like I have friends
Yeah.
that have put the years in of doing something, not just comedy, but like content creating, YouTube, whatever.
Right.
You see them,
You see it come up.
the come up
Yeah.
if they don't quit and they keep doing it. Like so.
That is interesting, man. Just being from here, you don't really see why everybody comes here until now that we're older and we see like your transplant, like all these transplants here.
Mhm.
Oh, a transplant. Damn, bro.
I'm a
I want a
trans.
reaction, but
I'm a trans ficus. Like,
Transplant.
no, but seriously, you see,
I am
guys
a
come here,
transplant, yeah.
right? And there's a reason you're here, right? And the reason is to blow up. The reason is to make something
Yeah.
of yourselves. And when you guys come here and you guys start doing it, and I know people like that now too, right? That have come here and have made it. But it's like, to me, this is just my home, like just how you were back in Michigan, right?
mhm.
And so I'm just kind of like doing what I got to do. Know the people that grew up here too, doing what we got to do. But then you guys are coming here. It's like immigrants. You guys are like immigrants coming and working your ass off
Yeah.
and then making something.
Yeah.
Gentrifying
Yeah,
immigrants.
literally, it's what it is, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But
that's
what's up,
interesting. Yeah, you growing up here, it's more normal for you. But man, growing up in Michigan, being an
Yeah.
artist is not normal.
It's not, huh?
No, there's no industry around it.
Right.
There's none.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it's like for mostly everywhere.
Would you have
Like,
been more like a manufacturer if you stayed there, like making cars and?
Yeah, or I mean,
Damn. That's
making Mini Coopers and stuff. I was no, I would have probably been a doctor.
A doctor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I always
So you like
looked at
medicine,
it. I like people like I like one thing I would not want my day every day. I like my days being different,
Mm.
and so
I
like
respect that, yeah.
yeah. So I think with the doctor, you work with people, and then your days are different,
Yeah.
different challenges.
Right.
I think I would have went to med school.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you go to college in LA?
No.
No, okay.
Michigan State.
Michigan State. Oh, you
He
said
just
that
mentioned,
earlier.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. You said people who move here that are not from LA are very resilient. And they have to be because they came all the way. Like even moving across the country is such a bold move.
Yeah, it is.
I think people like we from here take that for granted.
Yeah.
Like
I
we
mean,
have.
You moved countries.
I moved country, yeah,
Wow.
but I didn't know like LA was
Half the
Hollywood. Yeah, halfway across the world from Pakistan. But like I didn't know LA was Hollywood. Like I didn't know what LA was when I moved there. I didn't even know it was a city. I just thought I was going to California.
You know what Hollywood was?
I've heard of Hollywood, but I didn't know it was LA. I only knew New York, and that's it. Yeah.
So you have no family here?
No, I had a lot of family here.
Oh,
I just
okay.
didn't know. Like I don't know. I was a kid. I was like
Mhm.
11 or 12 when I moved there. So
So was it your choice to move here?
yeah, my family's choice. Yeah. I mean,
No,
I
your
always
family's
yeah. No, I wanted
Did your
to move.
parents like? Did you move with your parents or you?
Yeah, my mom, my sisters.
Right. So he's
Yeah.
he's a pussy. He didn't. That wasn't his choice. You moved here across. No, your mom and dad said we're moving.
There was no risk.
No, I mean we came on a visit visa, so we sought asylum. So there was a huge.
No,
risk.
yeah.
No,
we
his
could have been.
No, his parents are the brave ones. I'm saying.
Well,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
He was
okay.
persecuted.
I was
You were
persecuted. Yeah.
For what? Being too handsome? Like,
no. We
Were-
persecuted.
really?
Yeah, so I'm from a minority of Muslims in Pakistan. We're called Ahmadi Muslims, and
Wait,
The
you guys are
Constitution-
the only gay guys. Like gay
no,
Muslims?
we're the peaceful way. We're good. They just
They're like the
persecuted
I'm
us.
born
just
again-
kidding,
they're like
yeah.
the born again
Okay,
Muslims,
so-
yeah.
No, whoa, no, we're not like that.
True. Yeah.
No, that's a bad. I don't want to be like the born again Muslims.
It's
No.
not a bad thing. What the heck, bro? It's okay.
Sorry, I interrupt you. What is?
It's just a minority. So because of religious differences, the entire country hates us. We're like the
Really?
Jews of Pakistan.
Oh,
Let's
nice.
say that.
Born against Christianity.
Yeah. Like on the Constitution, we can't vote. We can't do a lot of things. So it's
Whoa.
bad. It's bad. Like your life can people will kill you
Wow.
if they find out your empathy.
Well, honestly, I support it.
What, the hate against us?
No, after meeting you, I support it. Because you want to know what this motherfucker fucking said at the open mic?
Are you still salty about
Dumb
that?
motherfucking Pakistani piece of shit. You were up. You're like you were talking about how you always thought you were 5'10".
Yeah, 5'10".
And then you learned that you were 5'8".
5'8" and a half.
5'8" and a half.
Yeah.
This guy thought he was taller than that, bro.
Then
He's
5'10",
the whole time he was like,
5'11".
I'm 5'10", 5'11" in high school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
5'11"
making me
in
feel
high
like I'm this little fucking guy compared to him.
right, this piece of shit. And then he's on the mic and he goes, "Dude, I'm 5'8" and a half, but thank God I'm not 5'7". If I was 5'7", I would kill myself."
Fuck you.
You fucking, you deserve to be
Yes, I would.
persecuted. Like, there's a
We're
reason why you
persecuting
can't
this podcast
vote.
right now.
And I'm just sitting there at 5 feet tall.
Looking at this guy the entire time,
Yeah,
bro.
and everyone in the room is looking at me.
I was just
like,
looking at Adam.
Jesus Christ. And then you're like, "Hey, you want to do my podcast? You want to drive an hour outside of LA in traffic and wait for us to
I swear that
liquidate
was not
some
planned.
shit?
Like that,
and then make me wait in a room for 20 minutes while you're liquidating? Just 5 minutes, bro.
That was this guy's fault. But
Oh,
man,
yeah, that's his fault.
now I do sound like the devil. Now I do sound like
you-
I should be persecuted. Yes.
Well, explain yourself.
That's actually hilarious.
I think, I don't know.
Why
man.
are you so insecure about your height?
I'm not anymore. I'm coming to terms. I'm not 5'8" though. I still don't believe the.
So what are you then?
5'9" probably.
There's no
Who
problem.
gives a fuck? Why are you? Why
I don't
are
know.
you
I feel
measured by
like
the halves, bro?
I don't know, man. I feel like when it comes to height, males tend to be a little insecure about it. At least,
I don't feel insecure. I'm shorter than you.
I
bro.
think I was insecure because I was always the shortest kid in school. Like I had an insane growth spurt. I was 5 feet for the
he
longest
did have
time.
an insane growth.
I was
spurt.
5 feet
That
when I was like 15 years old, I think, or
Yeah.
16. Yeah, like when I was a
taller than
freshman.
you.
Yeah, this guy was taller than me.
Yeah.
And then I just like grew.
Bro, this guy in high school, crazy dude. He would stretch an hour every single day, like height stretch.
When you were 5
Every
feet
Don't
tall.
embarrass me.
Really?
Yes,
Not
I
even
would do
kidding.
that.
And then junior
Not an
year,
hour. I would drink milk and stretch a lot.
45 minutes an hour, bro. He would come.
I
to
would
school,
stretch
he'd
a
be like,
lot. I
"Oh,
would play
dude,
basketball. I
I
would
stretch
so
every day,
funny.
bro. I hang from the
Oh my
pull-up bar.
God, that's hilarious.
But it worked, dude.
It works.
It works.
You gotta
Dude,
stretch
2
and
years
drink
later-
I
milk.
need to do that. Do you have a forklift we can just like pull?
I do.
with
Let's
my
do
thing?
it. You hold your feet, and then I'll lift the forklift up.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
How tall are your parents?
My parents aren't. My dad is like 5'3" and a half. My mom is 5'2" and a half. My dad's 5'4".
Damn, the stretching really did work.
But my parents' siblings are tall. They're all 6 feet. My
Oh,
parents are just the shortest in their family.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Well, it could have been worse for you.
they could have been. God
Yeah.
helped me, man.
But
Yeah.
you don't have you have the energy of 5'10". Like
Thank
when you stand, when you're there, like your proportions are
I look
like
5'10".
His
Yeah.
presence, right? Yeah.
Thank
presence
you, man. You
is-
made my day, Adam. This is why I had you on the podcast, man. Thank you for coming.
you're welcome. I was gonna
What-
say your presence is that of a trans woman. So
I'll take that. I'll
but your
take that.
physical body is fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What I'm curious, man. When you started doing comedy in LA, what was that first time back on stage like? Because you did that first time in Michigan, and then you did your dad's funeral,
Yeah.
and then the third time, what was that like?
It was downtown on an outdoor mic, and there was there was 3 or 4 real crowd members, like Latino. Like I remember exactly one Mexican dude and like either his sisters or a girlfriend or something, but they were a little drunk, and I just told a story about in college about how a rumor spread around about me that I had a big dick. And that's like the worst rumor ever when you don't have a big dick, because everyone thinks like, oh, he's packing. And I'm like, no, I can't sleep with anybody now.
Yeah.
Because like they're just gonna,
Embrace it, bro. Just believe you have a big dick, and maybe they'll. Oh fuck, this guy's dick is big. You know what I mean?
What?
Run with it.
what? Yeah.
What?
Like embrace it is what I'm saying, and then just go try to sleep with as many girls as you want, and then the girls will be like, oh, this guy actually does.
So I don't know what form of quantum physics that you're talking about. No, I'm like that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Like I can believe in it. Well, the thing is, I believe in my dick.
Okay.
I just don't believe that that's like
believe.
him believing he's 5'10".
I am
He's
5'10".
just,
believe it.
he's just not.
5'10".
though.
But everyone else believed it too. Is
Yes.
my point. I'm not even kidding. Everyone
I'm
else
probably
believed it.
5'11" with shoes on, but go ahead.
except women. Women know the difference. Men,
No,
guys,
women are stupid, bro. When it comes to height, I swear, this one girl thought I was 6 feet, bro. I told her.
oh yeah, well, your proportions are there. Like you have the proportions of like a guy that's like of 5'10" or 6 feet. Like
regardless, you were saying.
But I was saying, sure,
That
I
went
hear
off the
you.
wrong rail,
No,
dude.
it's
Like
okay.
it was just silence. You didn't follow what I was saying. Okay, anyway.
I get what you're saying. Believe in it, and then it
Okay,
becomes
let's
true.
just finish. Yeah.
But I
Let's move on, dude.
I believe in I believe in the truth, brother. But I hear you. Yeah, I could have embraced it, but like at 21, I was not in the headspace to embrace it because I'm just like because girls would would come up and they'd be like, "We heard about you," and I'm like, "Oh no, no, you didn't." Yeah,
damn, bro, you gotta
for real.
I believe
I'm not
you.
kidding. Like wherever I would go, the rumors was, I think it's because I'm petite and confident that they're like he's got to be a tripod man. This guy's got to be packing, and they just think, and it's like I can't live out here with the average dick. Like if like you said, if I'm 5 feet tall and still alive, like and not killing myself, I must have a big penis because that's the only reason I should be happy on this earth. And so see how that went full circle. And but so I told that story and it was good and like they were enjoying it and laughing, being silly. So I'm like, all right. Then every night I would hit mics at like 2 a.m. Like there was late night mics. I would do as much as I could, and actually I got enough acknowledgement from comics that I looked up to at the time that were like I got the past that they were like, yeah, you're keep going. Yeah. And so 2 weeks in, I'm like, all right. I'm dedicating a lot to this now. Yeah.
Nice.
So, and now it's because like when you start out, it's really hard because you're at the whim of the audience. You feel like God, I gotta make these people laugh, and like you're not really confident in yourself. You're just trying to get a laugh. But now it's like nicer. I believe I know that I'm funny. So like now it's more about what I think is funny. How did I overcome it? Yeah. You just have to look back. It takes time and repetition and enough doing well that you're like, all right, I'm funny. I've proven it. I've proven it to myself that now it's like I believe in myself. What I'm saying now is like what I find funny.
Authenticity.
Yeah. So that's like now the stage I'm on now. It's more trying to say more things that I really want to say instead of just saying things that is funny. Like I read like Sebastian Maniscalco's book, like his biography, and then the first paragraph it says laughs are cheap.
Laughs are cheap. Interesting.
And it's true, laughs are cheap because you can make just because you can make a person laugh, a crowd laugh, doesn't mean what you're saying is even interesting. Like so like what I know is the best comics, they say the things that you remember and you take away. Like usually there's like a learning lesson, like after a great special or something. Like, oh, that was a great take on something that I experienced in my life, and they made it funny. Like that's like so. That's
a consensus. We had a comic on yesterday, and that was his biggest thing. The take. He was like, that's the most important thing in comedy. It's like what take you take because anyone can say something generic and then make it funny. Yeah. But it's like if you take the devil's advocate and you're able to find the truth in it while making people laugh, that's the one that's gonna stick.
But it has to be true to yourself. You can't just say it just to say it. You know, if you truly believe, that's why you have to like look deeper.
That's not what he was saying, but I agree with you. I think you have to be authentic in your comedy. You have to believe it's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have to necessarily believe it's true.
I think you have to go deeper though, because a lot of times comedians have similar takes and they're surface level, you know, and then that's what you're talking about. Like, how do you really stand out? You stand out by saying something that is true to yourself, but you're actually pointing out a nuance that nobody else noticed.
Right.
You know, and people are like, oh my God, this guy said it. Like, wow, that's interesting. And that's where the magic comes in, I feel like.
Yeah, the greatest of all time are the ones that touch on the things that the most amount of people in the world experience.
Yes.
And they say yeah to that.
That's true, yeah.
Like the relatability thing of making something relatable, something that we all experience that no one has talked about yet. That's like, oh my God, how have I not noticed that? Yeah. And then he's like, that's so right. And then it actually changes like people's perspectives a little bit just thinking of things. And so it's like, that's also a thing I learned getting outside of LA and doing comedy more on the road and stuff is like, is it's being relatable
Yeah.
to normal everyday people.
Yeah.
Like, because you can be a comic here. Like, there's a whole community, a comedy community, where you can climb the ladder of being the favorite in a scene, like in the LA scene. But that doesn't mean that that people in the world,
I get you.
like you. So, I think starting out, it's like this balancing act of being popular in both worlds. Like, does this club like me, or does this booker, or do these people think I'm doing good? Versus, well, do actual people like me?
Yeah,
right. The real audience.
Does the real audience like me? Because a lot of times you do jokes in front of real audiences, and that'll bomb at a mic, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's hack." Or like, "Oh, you're gonna talk about this. You're gonna talk about kids. You're gonna talk about maybe getting married one day." Well, fuck you. I talk about getting stabbed and putting a butt plug in your mouth, like, because like comics are different.
Yeah, there's different types of comics for whatever they're into, right? Dude, you see all kinds of shit, man. I don't know, bro. I was talking to him yesterday. Comedy's like stand-up's like the weirdest thing, dude. You can meet like the coolest person. You can meet like the guy you don't want to have a lunch with ever in your life.
Yeah.
If the world was burning on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they get on stage and they turn into something else.
And the personality changes or it doesn't. And that's sometimes the issue too. It's like, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've really, out of like the comics I've looked up to that I've gotten to meet so far, I really like the people that are themselves, like, throughout. And when I meet them, they're like have an energy about them that is warming and inviting and like, oh, that's a star. Like, I get it, that human being is making the world better. Like, even if they're just talking about their dick, it's still like it translates through the screen that like, all right, I like this person,
What's it been like doing comedy on the road versus LA? Do you find that audiences are more receptive outside of LA?
Receptive?
Yeah.
I think,
because LA gets a bad rep sometimes,
Well, yeah, because it's a lot of, the crowds are, it's a lot of people that aren't happy to be here in LA.
Yeah.
Well, because like they move here, it's a lot of transplants, and it's, they're trying to make it, and then for them to try and make it, they have to act like that they have uphold certain values and things like this. So like there's like a wall, like a LA wall with young LA crowds sometimes that like you can't say this, you can't say that, and it's I just got in a fucking bar fight.
Really?
Oh damn.
2 nights ago over Palestine.
Really?
Like over Palestine. Well, this chick, I'm Jewish. This Jewish chick pushed me, and I'm
Jews
like,
fighting in LA. Damn.
yeah, and Silver Lake, and this kike bitch, she nudges me, and I'm like, whoa, like chill. She's like, hey, I wouldn't touch you, shorty. Don't worry. I'm like, oh, you fucking... and I didn't know she was Jewish. I just said, whoa, what are you? Are you anti-Semitic or something? Like, just trying to screw with her.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't be anti-Semitic. I'm Jewish. And I'm like, well, what are you, pro-Israel then? And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm pro-Palestine. I'm like, oh, then what are you, Hamas then? And then she fucking... I don't know if you see a red mark, either here or here.
Okay.
Yeah, she got me. Yeah, she clocked me with a claw.
What the hell?
And yeah, Yeah. And then,
what?
Yeah,
In Silver Lake?
In Silver Lake, and this is all over, and all over, stupid.
That's crazy, dude.
Shit, yeah. And then, she was with a guy who was like a 6'4" white dude, and he was like, dude, what the fuck, bro? It was like their first date, and he's like, this is my worst first date I've ever been on. And he's like, dude, and then he got pissed. He's like, what the fuck, man? You fucking midget. You fucking retarded midget. He called me a retarded midget. And,
fucked up.
But a part of me was pissed.
Terrible.
But then a part of me, he's young, like he's Gen Z.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, oh, he's saying retarded midget. We're back, dude. This is awesome. Like Gen Z is cool.
Well, you can make that into a bit right there, bro. That's
yeah,
like,
kind of, right?
Yeah,
like
100%.
Yeah.
Play with it. Yeah.
I'll play. Yeah. And then we. Oh
That's
my god.
crazy.
And then
That's crazy,
earlier
bro.
in the night, I
Was
got
she
off.
young? The girl? She was young too.
Yeah, like 26 or something.
Okay.
Like, but he was definitely Gen Z. Yeah, like and
That's crazy.
And so like I'm like nowhere else in the country are people getting in fights over Palestine and Israel. Like and it's Jew on Jew crime.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
the Jew on Jew is crazy.
It's crazy, and because I said it to get her going. Like it's like so you know. Everyone else has real problems, you know, in
our own lives,
in your own lives. And I'm not saying everyone else, because you grew up here, so it's like you have a more. But like I guess I'm talking about transplants and the gentrification. I'm talking about Hollywood, I guess.
Like the Hollywood area, yeah.
Hollywood,
because the suburbs
different
are
than LA.
very different.
Not LA. LA people are dope. Hollywood people suck. And
yeah.
So it's nice just being in different parts of the country. Like when Trump got elected, I was in Michigan.
How was that?
It was normal. Like
just another,
the country spoke. The country said they wanted Trump. I didn't vote for Trump. I would never vote for Trump.
Who'd you vote for?
I didn't vote.
Oh, you didn't vote?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Because
gotta vote.
Well, because I stick with the Pakistanis. She was Indian. I'm like, I can't.
Smart man.
Yeah.
We didn't vote for
you could have voted for. Yeah.
I mean,
I voted.
RFK.
RFK.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fucking protest vote, buddy.
Protest vote.
Yeah.
Right.
Why didn't you vote? I'm curious. You didn't want to. Or?
Neither of them earned my vote. I'm not. But I don't think it should stay the same as it is now.
Yeah.
I think that like the Democratic Party is just another corporation, and then it's all corporate, right?
Yeah, dude.
So and Trump is crazy. I think he's hilarious and everything.
It's funny.
He's the funniest man alive. Yeah.
A president, buddy. You know
but it's gonna be entertaining. I'll tell you that much. But I just couldn't, in my good conscience, like vote for him.
Yeah.
Personally, but I don't judge people who did vote for him. Like I get it. Like I completely understand why.
Right.
So it's like I get tired of in Hollywood like people still on their high horse about how could you do this? How could you? I'm like people are not paying their bills, dude. Like everything's screwed up.
Yeah.
And like the media that's fed to everybody is focused on issues that doesn't affect most people's lives. Like so like when I was in Michigan and Trump won, it was like people were like kind of happy, but it wasn't crazy. And I'm like, oh, this is normal. Whereas like, I assume what it was like here was sad again.
People were gonna move to Canada the next day.
To Canada. Like you're not moving.
Everyone's doing it. No one's gonna move.
I've had some crazy conversations since the election.
Really?
Bro, I voted RFK. Okay, I didn't vote. I guess he is pro-Trump now or whatever. But dude, people like calling me, you're a Trump supporter. You voted for Trump. I'm like, no, I didn't. This has happened a couple times.
Yeah.
I didn't vote for him. Conversation goes, that's why you voted for Trump. I'm like, where are you getting this, brother? Like, where are you getting? I'm voting for. It's weird, dude. It's very weird.
Yeah. No, I don't like it, and it's not. It's just making us fight each other. Like, and I'm like, I just want to stop fighting about that stuff.
About politics.
Like
Everyone
I don't
come together.
Yeah, come together, and in a weird way. Yeah. Trump winning might bring. I think will bring more people together. Because I mean, it's so funny how many immigrant parents voted and wanted Trump in. Yeah. Like so many of my friends' parents that are first that moved here want Trump and everything. And so it really like the white supremacist part of it of the Democratic side or more liberal side or Hollywood side is they think just because you're brown you're Democrat, and just because you're brown, you
have to vote blue.
You have to vote blue, and you have to do this. And they also think just because you're brown, you're also like a good person. Like just because you're gay, just because you're brown, just because you're a woman, you're a good person, and that's not true.
That is crazy.
Everyone is good and bad, and so in being liberal and conservative is in the mind. It's not in your skin color. Right. Like that's what you get to see. Like because if the white people really thought, okay, Latinos that moved here, right? Yeah. Family, was it Christian, Catholic, like religious, work hard, all those values are way more conservative, toward the right than liberal. So there's so many more Hispanic vote came out for Trump. Like and so many dudes came out for Trump and moms and women so it's like came for and I'm so it's like stop thinking about skin color means liberal. It's not. We're all just human beings that.
We each need to be like individualized. That's been taken away, man. It's like we're not so much individualized now in our thoughts. We can't have a little bit here, a little bit there, and then come to our own conclusion. It's like you gotta stick to the right. If the right says this, it's right. If the left says this, it's correct. But it's like, if we can just individualize ourselves, like, hey, I actually believe in this this topic because of these reasons, and this topic because of these reasons, then it turns out to be, okay, this guy is actually just a human that has his own opinions, right?
Yeah.
Rather than just like a cog in this liberal machine or in this conservative machine.
Right.
Yeah, because they're both guilty of it, left and right.
They're both
Yeah.
they're both exploiting us for our money.
Yeah.
That's all that's happening. So it's like I'm like, what if we all just were optimistic, be like, how about this time?
Yeah.
Let's just try and make things better
Right.
for everybody. And
That's what they don't want.
they don't want, Republicans and Democrats don't want us to think that.
Exactly.
And it's also enforced by CNN, Fox News, all these things, because they want us to fight, so we click on their videos, and so we engage. And
separation causes division.
And because on TikTok, Instagram, everything, like there's the best numbers come from conflict.
Yeah, hate sells well. It always has.
Yeah, and and so sad it sells well, and so that's why it's like. That's why I'm fighting Jewish women in the street.
In Silver Lake.
Silver Lake. Yeah.
Do you think comedy can be a means to ease the political tension of the country?
Like, is the means.
It is right now, yeah.
It literally is. It's like it is like almost the last bastion of keeping it real.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like Jon Stewart is one of the best examples, is like his power of like satirizing all the crazy things that is said on each network. And like we're rewarded for speaking truth.
Yeah.
And right now in comedy, I actually feel like there's a drought in truth tellers now. I think the culture right now is like, just be funny, like just make people laugh. Like that's all that counts. Like at least from all the comics that are popping right now. Whereas like I think it's gonna come back where they're like more truth to power stuff that's fun and risky, but like poking holes in things.
Do you feel like a lot of comedians are not being political enough, or they're
not
just
not necessarily political, but even calling things out about race and gender?
Like they're not being deep.
They're not being deep.
Got you.
Yeah.
Like very surface level, like you said, cheap laughs and
cheap laughs, and not all cheap,
they're
but
not
like
saying what they really believe.
Right?
Yeah.
Or they really just believe, or their philosophy on comedy is just make them laugh, man. It's not more than that. When I don't think that's true, because like we all, Dave Chappelle, like
storyteller,
and like if you talk 99% of most comics, that's their number one comic. Like that's
is that your number one?
Who's your GOAT?
My number one.
Yeah.
My GOAT.
Are you part of the 1%?
Is Zach Galifianakis.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a funny guy. But that's your GOAT.
That's my GOAT.
Okay.
Because I don't know, Live at the Purple Onion, if you haven't seen it,
no,
it's like his only stand-up special.
Okay.
And he, by the way, the producer's taking a piss.
Yeah, and they won't hear that.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Yeah.
what
But
was that show he had, Baskets? Did you watch that?
No, I didn't watch Baskets.
Okay, I think he's a hilarious guy. I didn't really get that show.
Yeah, no, it's him in movies and stuff. It's okay. Like Hangover was the first one, was obviously great.
So funny.
Yeah, and like the early Between Two Ferns was hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah. But he's one of the only comics, whenever I see him live, his punchlines come out of nowhere and just slap me in the face so hard. I'm like,
He's still doing stand-up?
Yeah.
Really? But he only
he's
has
low
one
key about it. Yeah.
He's low key about it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So he just does it for himself then?
I mean, yeah.
He doesn't put it out.
That's how he came up as a stand-up. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But because there's not a lot of people that I watch that like their punchlines like hit me in the face out of nowhere, and his always have. And I'm like, geez, I'm like, so. But that's like my GOAT. But Chappelle is like Chappelle Show.
It's just Chappelle,
Chappelle. I mean Pryor. All these guys, like they're speaking truth to power in a fun and silly way. That's the thing. It doesn't have to be serious when you do it, but the way he did it was really funny. But he was still speaking truth to shit.
Right.
So like, and Chris Rock when he was doing it, I think it like that's for me. That's what was like. Wow, I looked up to comedians so much. I'm like, they're awesome because they're and Bill Burr too.
Bill Burr, yeah. He's I don't know. He just, like you said, he's one of those comedians where you think of stuff in your head You don't know the words to articulate it, but Bill Burr just does it in the perfect way possible.
Right.
That's what's so inspiring about him.
And he's so good because he's well-rounded.
Yeah.
Where someone who's not well-rounded can't do those jokes. And a lot of like comics that start out try. Like every white guy wants to be Bill Burr almost. Like cuz like he starts out where you're like, "Oh shit, he's taking on this topic."
I think those 3 comedians are the ones that we hear the most, huh?
Bill Burr, Chris
Chappelle,
Rock, Dave Chappelle.
Rock, yeah.
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 And Louis
Louis C.K. Yeah.
We don't really hear
Well,
him,
because
on the
because of that,
yeah. Yeah. He's one of the funniest people though.
One of the funniest people on the planet.
Yeah.
But
Kevin Hart doesn't even come up.
Kevin Hart. I mean, yeah. Kevin Hart's a movie star.
Yeah.
Now,
He's a funny. He's
funny.
Very
His stand-up's
funny,
funny.
of course,
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, is really funny, but his I don't think his bits haven't had the same impact that
as others.
others.
See.
Yeah, he's so funny and so likable and popular and funny, but not like no one considers him a prophet, like prophetic. You know what I mean?
And people would consider Dave Chappelle that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Consider
Right.
him, Bill, Louis,
Yeah,
and like Carlin.
like the goats.
Yeah.
Would you ever want to act, or do you want to
I
focus
would
on stand-up
act.
comedy?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would.
What about filmmaking? How does that fit into what you're doing?
Yeah, I love Judd Apatow, so like,
Interesting. So that's your okay.
Great, yeah.
I would love to. I mean, I have scripts written and everything, but yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Too. I've worked production from top to bottom,
Right.
so I have that in my bag. So like, me posting clips and stuff and filming my stuff, it's really easy. So like editing,
Because you have that eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
We literally had a director, Imran J. Khan. He's a filmmaker. He just released his first feature at Southwest by Southwest, and he's a comedian. He did it a decade ago, and then he just got back into it. And similar journey. He's a filmmaker. He's a filmmaker, and you're both doing comedy. Do you enjoy comedy more than filmmaking?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh well, it's like it's the purest and hardest art form. Like, but like, it's just me up there.
Yeah.
You know, like, I
The
love
one
being,
man act. Yeah.
because like being on set is really fun, and I love being with people and everything. But it's stressful, and like it's like more of a delayed thing. Like a laugh is a laugh. It's a literally instant thing, and
that's what I mean. That's what he said too.
Yeah.
He said like it's a different operation when you're just dealing with yourself. Like it's cool doing film and like having this cool big project or something, but you don't have full autonomy. When you're a comedian, you have full autonomy. You write your own jokes. You're only responsible to yourself.
Yeah.
Which is true. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's for better or for worse. If you do well, you do well. But when you bomb, you want to kill yourself. Yeah. So it's like the risk is so high in it, and but
before I ask you the last question, how did you get over the bombs in the beginning? Because that's the hardest part, right? Like a lot of comedians don't even make it past that. That's why so many people stop after their third time, fourth time. You know.
Yeah. Getting like I remember my worst bombs. And
yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't read. Yeah.
You were written down?
Yeah, bro. Like I analyzed like what went wrong. You know, like there's some dates.
So what went wrong 2 days ago?
2 days. That was open mic though. You know. Yeah.
When you said you were gonna kill yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna.
What went wrong?
No, that was just a joke. I was joking. I'm not gonna actually kill myself because I'm 5.
Dude.
No.
Because you're shrinking, dude. Yeah, because you're shrinking.
I'm shrinking at 24.
That's why I said when I walked in the door, I'm like, God, this guy's getting shorter. I'm gonna call.
Right. I'm gonna measure myself repeatedly today.
When he's on stage, how is it?
When he's on stage. Yeah. I mean, you're a young guy. You're figuring it out. Like you talk. You're good at talking. Like you can. So it's like you know, I think you're figuring out what's funny about you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny that you're exiled. I think it's funny your insecurity is funny.
Yeah. I need to be more vulnerable on stage, definitely.
Yeah.
Because Martin Scorsese has this saying, the most personal is the most creative. And I think that's the magic. Like when you're the most personal in the most vulnerable way possible, that's where all the magic comes in. So it's a process, man. Do you feel like you're like have you reached that stage where you feel like you're just vulnerable like to the max?
No, I'm not at all.
Really?
Yeah, I don't feel that at all.
Even on stage, when you're on stage, you have this thing where I feel like you're being vulnerable, and it's like I admire that. That's a good thing. Then. Good. Yeah.
Well, maybe at the mics I'm more vulnerable. Like when I'm getting over it right now, where when I'm in front of crowds, I tend to stick to my material more, and
I do, yeah.
And so I want to really open up like that in front of people. So at the mics, I think I'm better at it.
Yeah.
Just opening up and being like that. But
why do you stick to your material?
Because it's
safer.
It's safer, and there's the pressure to give them a show, and I know this will make them laugh.
Yeah.
And that's the trick that I'm still getting over.
Yeah,
it's like hard. We equate laughter with success.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily always the truth. Like, in my opinion, because some comics are just like, all I care about is LPMs, laugh per minute. How many laughs do I get in a minute?
Okay.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it because I'm like, well, what the fuck did you say? Do people remember what you said after they leave? Because I know comics that kill, that murder for however long they're on, but and it's great in that moment, but no one remembers what was actually said.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I really think the greats have those jokes. It might not have the same amount of laughs, but if it means something and it builds, it hits harder.
Yeah.
And people remember it. Like, the biggest compliment is when someone later on, no matter months later, weeks later, we're like, dude, that joke, I tell people about that joke that you have. That's like, all right.
That's a good feeling, huh?
It's like a one night stand versus a true love. You know, true love, you'll remember that feeling.
Yeah.
But like a one night stand, you know, like
I want them to remember how I disappointed them.
Interesting, man. My last question, I don't know if you have any other questions. My last question is, if you could give advice to your past self 10 years ago, what would it be? We asked that last guest this exact question. I want to ask every guest this question, but yeah.
I would say take it easy on myself. One of the biggest lessons I learned is that, like, negative self-talk is like the downfall of everything. Like, even like I'm prone to depression just genetically. The men in my family have it. So whenever I would get depressed, I would let myself negatively talk to myself, like berate myself. Like, and it just, now coming through some stuff, I realize it is not only not nice to me, but it doesn't help.
Right.
Like, no matter how, if you talk poorly to yourself, it does nothing except make you sadder. So it's like, even if I realize I'm going through a depression kind of thing, like I don't feel great, I now just say, all right, I just don't feel great. It's like my body, it's my mind, like, you know, but like, you're good. Like, you're, you know, you're good. You're a nice person. So like, I would tell myself the only thing that matters, even after like losing my dad, is the people around you.
Yeah.
Loving the people around you and treating other people well to make their life better.
Right.
That's because we're all on this fucking rock for however long. And so as long as you're a person that is trying to help others, that makes you valuable and good. So anything else you do in life, no matter what you achieve or whatever, that's all that makes you good, and that's what matters. And then, so once I embrace that, now life has been much better. Yeah.
Positivity, man, it can infiltrate people's minds, dude. Like, if you're hanging out with, I'm sure you've had this, like, if you're down in the dumps and like somebody else is like, even if it's like a crazy positivity, right? They're like all over the place. It makes you feel like, shit, maybe I should get my energy level up. Like, maybe I should move a little or whatever, right?
Yeah, it rubs off.
It does, dude. It does, yeah. Being happy or like having positivity, it definitely affects moods. And I think that's something people should have, just like you said, have more in their mind too, because it's not just you in this world, right? If you're down, you're going, that negative emotion is going to rub off on other people too.
Yeah. And because a lot of things is like, I used to go into situations where I would be reactive, where I'm like, oh, this person treats me like this, well then that's what they get.
Right.
And
you're stooping to their level at that point.
You stoop to that level, and you're letting the world dictate your
Who
life.
You are, correct.
Instead of you going into any situation, be like, I am this.
Right.
And I'm going to have this conversation go this way. And if it doesn't, that's okay. I'm still good.
Yeah.
And so
you're still the one in charge.
I'm still the one in charge of
your life.
of my life.
That's the only thing you can control.
Yep, that's the only thing I can control.
Yeah.
So that's the younger message to myself, which I think to most people, Gen Z 20s right now.
Yeah.
It's a good message, yeah.
Yeah, is like just be easy on yourself, and you control your own happiness.
Right.
It's harder. It's way harder, but if you do it, life will work for you instead of against you. Yeah.
You have to be a leader in your own head. Like a lot of times, like you said, we let people's opinions of ourselves get to us, and then we're giving them the control. We're giving them the opportunity to lead us. And you're forgetting your individuality. It's almost like you're a slave to their opinions,
Right.
you know? And I feel like when I'm in those moments too, that's a good reminder to give myself. Like if I'm letting what somebody said to me get to my skin, it's like, why? Because that's their opinion.
Yeah.
You disagree with that, and you disagree that for a reason. So stand by what you believe and commit to it. So, yeah man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Thanks, man. And I will start believing that I have a big dick.
Please believe it, man. And
All right, plug yourself. Where can people find you?
At Adam Fynke, Fynke, TikTok, Instagram, the whole shebang.
Yes,
Sweet.
sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for
brother.
coming on, man.
Thanks, guys.